Hello, this is Nicole with Angelic Therapy and Healing, bringing you a general reading for the week of Monday, November 27th through Sunday, December 3rd. Yes, December. We are almost done with 2017, and boy, has it been a ride this year. So, welcome. I have missed all of you. Glad to have you back. Hopefully this time that you've had the past 2-3 weeks has given you an opportunity to take care of the things that you had come up. It was interesting when I did the last weekly reading, they were telling me that's it until after Thanksgiving. I was like, I wonder what people are going to go through. And lo and behold, I get to go through things just like all of you. Collectively, we all had a bunch of stuff just pop up in the past couple weeks. So with talking with clients, it's so many of us have had big things pop up. So hopefully you've been able to gracefully navigate through that. Hopefully things are getting a little better. Hopefully you'll have some things that you can be extra thankful for this Thanksgiving. Those of you that are celebrating, so you are going to actually be receiving this right before Thanksgiving. You're going to get it about 4 or 5 days early because I am posting it early because I will be traveling and out of town for the holidays. So celebrating Thanksgiving with my family and friends and doing all that. So those of you that are celebrating, I do hope that you have a safe and enjoyable holiday. And for everyone else, I'm thankful for all of you. Very, very thankful for all of you. So those of you that are new to the channel, welcome. Hopefully you will find something here today in today's reading that will assist you with your journey. Now, let's see here. We are going to have a full moon during this week. It's actually going to be on Sunday, December 3rd. It's going to be around just before 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Now, I'm not going to go into many details because there's tons of information out online that you can check out, but it's a full moon in Sagittarius. It is referred to as the cold moon. What you'll find is a lot of you will have the opportunity to have a much needed and really long overdue conversation that needs to be had, because this is going to be pushing us to speak up. Speak up and share our truth, speak up and have those difficult conversations. We've been dodging like a bullet for months, but that opportunity is going to be presented on a platter for many of us at this time. So hopefully you can, if you're one of those people that needs to have a conversation, speak up, share your truth. Yeah, they're saying for some of you, share the truth of something. You're going to have the opportunity to do that. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started. For those of you that are interested in the cards, I'm going to be using my Gilded Lenormands. I also have my Bluebird Lenormands. I have my Fin de Sickles. I have Doreen Virtue's Angel Answer cards, Denise Lynn's Gateway Oracle cards, and Mario Dugai's Oracle of the Angels. So I have prayed over the cards, shuffled them. I did ask that each of you receives at least one message. Hopefully you will have more than that, but you should at least have one. Okay, we've got some room. Move these up a little bit. Okay, make sure you guys can see those. Oh, nice. And they're zoomed in. You guys can see them clearly. I won't have to mess with lifting these up all the time. I like it. Okay. So let's see here. What we have is the past, present, future. So we have the sun, the dog, fish. Actually, you know what? We'll just cover them each one at a time. Okay. So we're going to start with your past row. So 31, this is the sun. The sun brings us clarity. It also brings us the life force, the energy, the vitality, the will to do something. It's also indicative of welcoming the end of a difficult situation, finally having some relief from that situation. And although it's not entirely, sometimes it cannot be entirely over, not entirely removed, but we have some relief. We're getting a little bit of it lifted up off of us. Now, the next card we have in the past, we have the choice, or this would be paths as well. Card number 22. And this is really truly about choices, alternatives. What path are we going to take? Which direction are we going to take? It's about evaluating the pros and cons of something. This can also sometimes speak of an unconventional lifestyle. It can also speak, if this is in regards to love, it can talk about wavering back and forth between two love interests. It can be about unfaithfulness. It can also be about double dealing, like someone's not, being honest with us. And then we have the Tower, and this is 19. And this isn't the same as the Tower in the Tarot. This is about something that is official. This is about something that is traditional. It's like a structure, something that's institutional, something that's bureaucratic. It could also speak of the government, could speak of the legal system. It's also about someone's their motivations and their ambitions, what's driving them. And this can also speak of separation, like final official separation. Now in the present row, we have the Dog. And the Dog is all about, a friend, a companion, an acquaintance. It could be a lover. It's someone that we can rely on. This card can also signify help, needing help. Then we have the Anchor, and this card is the focus. This is the core situation. And we have the Anchor, card number 35. And this is all about stability, dependability, things that are immutable, things that are fixed, things that are unchangeable. You can also speak of things that are routine. It's also about our hope and our faith. It's about things that are very serious, very heavy in nature. Okay, we're going to come back to that. Then we have card number 3. This is the Ship. And again, this is your last card in your present moment row. And the Ship is all about travel. It's movement. It's mode of transportation and the directions that we're going in. And then in the future row, we have Fish. And Fish is all about money and resources, business, investments, finances. Truly our monetary resources. Now, sometimes it can be indicative of like something or someone that we have invested in heavily, but not. So for some of you, yes, that is the case. So for some of you, this is a love situation, but this is talking about it's a love situation where you have money together with that person. And we'll cover that when we start working our way down the rows. Then you have 21. And again, this is your future row. And this is the Mountain. And this is all about something that's blocking us, something that is an obstacle, delays coming up, something that we can't easily overcome or get over. It's also about feeling alienated and isolated. But it's also, there is hope because we can overcome those things if we put together a strategy, if we make some effort, if we take some action, if we do the things that we are being guided to do and not allow ourselves to stay in a stagnated position. Now, the last card that you have in the future row is 27. And this is Letter. And this is all about written communications. It can be written communications that are received or written communications that are sent. Okay, so in the past, we have the Sun, the Choice, and the Tower. So for some of you, you made the choice to end something that made you happy. In the past, it made you happy. Some of you, this was ending a relationship. Some of you, this could have been, ending a work situation. But for many of you, it does involve the legal system. Because for those of you that this is love related, this isn't just a love interest. This isn't somebody that you've had a crush on, that you're going back and forth with. This is someone that you truly do have finances with. This is someone that you're going through a divorce. This is someone you're divorcing. You're splitting up your assets. It could be you're splitting things up with a business partner. But this is someone that you have a financial foundation with. You have shared finances. Maybe you share a home. But your money is intertwined. And for those of you for work, obviously work affects your finances. So in the past, you've made the decision to end that. And you've made the decision to officially end it. So for some of you, it is really taking it to court. and actually having it be official. But for many of you, it's still not officially over, because the sun, one of the meanings for that is that, it's not entirely finished. It's not entirely over. You've had a little bit of relief, but you're just not quite there yet. For many of you, you're waiting for it to be officially over, because this is where you are presently. So for some of you, this was a love interest. It was your partner. It was your lover. For some, it could have been a business partner. But you were faithful. Someone was not faithful, though. But you had maintained your loyalty to this relationship, to this partnership, to this situation for a very long time, despite numerous challenges, numerous hurdles. Many of you, this is founded because it is your livelihood. When you have these two cards together, this is really about your foundation. It's not because you do share finances. So it's either work or it's somebody that you share money and finances with, which is part of why it's been difficult to move away from the person, the situation, because of the money, because it has been your security, it has been your stability. For many of you, you had hope and faith for a very long time that this was going to turn around, that maybe this time it'll work. Maybe if I give it one more chance, it could possibly work out. And that's where some of you are at mentally, because some of you are thinking, okay, yeah, I know we called it quits and ended it, but now you've been lonely for a little while, and you're back to this state of thinking, okay, well, maybe if I give it one more shot, maybe it could work this time. Because many of you are like yearning for stability. You really want stability. You want this foundation. Many of you want a home. You want a family. But it's not, for those of you that it's a relationship and you're wanting to build a home and family, it's not going to be with the person that you left. And those of you in that situation, because it's been a long time coming. For many of you, it's something that you have dug your heels in and have not wanted to end it. And for some of you, you're at a state currently where, yes, you did choose an alternative path. So in love, you had this lover, partner, this person you have shared finances. Again, it's someone you have shared finances with. You are monetarily entangled with this person. But you decide, okay, I'm done. I'm leaving this person. But you jumped in very quickly with a new companion. You took this alternative path. You see how this anchor is being ripped up, and there's all this water, and you've got this bird zooming. So for some of you in anger, you found out that your partner was cheating. And so in total anger, you're like, that's it. I'm moving forward with someone else. But you didn't think it through. It's not working out. There's a lot of turbulence, a lot of tension, because it's not the right person. So even though you're yearning for stability, you're yearning for a solid foundation, you want that, you desire it, it's not with the new person either. Because for many of you, they were trying to have you break and remove yourself from the past. They wanted you to have an official ending, but they wanted you to take the time to evaluate your future step, to think those things through, and also have the time for yourself to heal. But because you jumped so quickly into something else, you haven't had that time that you need. And now some of you are really getting frustrated because you jumped into this new thing and you thought, okay, well, maybe this will work. Maybe I'll have my stability and can build a foundation with this person. But even that is not working because they're not the right one. And you know that. You can feel that something's off. You can feel that it's not right. There's a lot of tensions. For some of you, there's even arguments now. So for some of you, you're not talking with the person that you left in the past, and now there's tense moments of not really communicating with this new person. Now for others of you, you didn't jump into another relationship, but you were just like, okay, that's it. I'm out of here. I'm ripping my anchor up. I'm done. I'm finished. I'm over this. But you want stability. You want a firm foundation. You want happiness. Because a lot of these cards are like dark. You want to get back to a state of happiness. You desire that. But you're losing hope. You're losing faith in having that happen. Some of you are losing hope and faith in things just even moving forward and changing. But for those of you, you're needing some help. You're feeling like, oh my gosh, no matter what I do, this just doesn't work. Everything I try doesn't work. I keep being stuck. I keep having one roadblock after another. But I really, really want a solid foundation. I really want that. But it seems to slip through your hands time and time again. Now for the future, what we have, the fish, the mountain, and the letter. So in the future, you are going to be experiencing some more delays in the communications to finally end this. And it's about, finances. So for some of you that are going through a divorce, you're waiting for the disposition. You're waiting for, it to finally be concluded and over. Some of you are just at your wit's end. Like, oh my gosh, I can't deal with this anymore. But stay patient, because for some of you are going to, this month, even as soon as this week, for some of you, you're going to notice that there's going to be a little bit more of a delay. But don't be discouraged by that. Now, for some of you, you are going to feel kind of, you see how there's this deer? He's all by himself down there in the corner. Some of you, because, this is tied to your money, your financial security, these two cards together, some of you are going to feel as though you're like alienated because of this security. Like you're going to feel like, oh my gosh, I'm alone. I want security. I want stability. I want a solid foundation. I want to be able to hitch my boat to someone and something I can count on, something that I can rely on, someone I can have faith in, someone that's going to be loyal. Someone that's going to be a trusted companion, someone I can rely on, someone I can count on. And no matter how I try to have that happen, damn it, it escapes me every time. And some of you are going to be at a state starting this month where you are going to feel alienated by that, where you're going to feel like, oh my gosh, this is just, a lot of you are going to start to lose your hope and faith. Like, I don't think this is ever going to happen. Have faith, have hope. God can't give you someone new if you're still holding on to the old person. So this is for many of you that final transition phase. And for a number of you, the reason that you have the delays is because there's something else in this lesson, this transition that you're supposed to know, something that you're supposed to do, something that you are supposed to learn. So for some of you, there are delays because there's a little bit of heart healing that you have to do, because, maybe it's this ex that you've been with for so long that you've not allowed your heart to completely separate from them. You've not allowed your heart to heal. Even for some of you, if you jumped into this other relationship, this relationship's about to end as well, leaving you in that alienated, alone state. But the reason for that, to not be discouraged, you need this time alone in order to heal your heart, in order to prepare yourself to walk to greener pastures. And it's not going to be as difficult as you think. It's not going to be as difficult as you fear. You will find someone new. You will find that stability you want. It's just not the places that you've been looking so far. And for some of you, it really is a time of preparation. Because again, if our hands are filled with one person, and God wants to bring us in the dream boat, God wants to bring us in even a divine love, Maybe God wants to bring a soulmate or a twin flame or a twin soul. Maybe, God has something beautiful in store for us. But if our hands are filled with this other person, we can't open our arms and receive the new person. We have to drop that baggage, drop that person so we can receive the new. And for some of you, this could be a work situation. You have to, maybe you're splitting up with a business partner. You have to let that business go to start a new business. You need to close that one to open up for the new business partner. For some of you, it's, for a very small number, it could be some legal battle that you've been having with family over some estate. But again, it's just dragging on forever. And you feel as though your life is, all of you, you feel as though your life is on hold. Like, oh my gosh, is it ever going to be done? Change your perspective. Instead of looking at it like, oh my gosh, start looking at the things that are positive in life. Start looking at, okay, thank you, God, for releasing me from this toxic person. I am so thankful for that. Thank you that today I didn't think about them. Thank you today that I didn't cry about it. Thank you today that I did not feel stressed. Start being thankful for the little things, the little bit of progress that you've made. And for some of you, that is going to show you some of the big things that you need to finalize, they're saying, to prepare yourself for this new beginning. But don't despair, because this is just this final, it's almost like a final momentary pause for you to take care of your final work, to prepare yourself. So for some of you, maybe you need to start getting on the treadmill. Maybe you need to get on a rowing machine and get yourself feeling fine and sexy again, so that as soon as you get the divorce papers, as soon as you get the papers that this is over, you're like ready for the next one. You're like, drop that bundle of misery. Now I'm ready to accept my bundle of joy. Use this time to your advantage. Don't stay stuck in a state of woe is me, because that's only going to make things worse. Because again, the mountain is about, you can change the situation. You do have communications coming in. These 3 cards across, this really is about an official message that's coming in from a distance to you to end this chapter for good. So this person, this situation, this work situation, it will be done. For many of you, it is an official communication, an official document that ends it. You are going to be receiving it. This is your exit card. You are going to be receiving that. It is going to be done. It is. You're just going to have this momentary pause to take care of your final preparations. To realize it's not really that bad. And you do have control. Now, the interesting thing with the mountain, like with all cards, but especially with Lenormand, it's really about the placement of the cards. So like when the mountain is to the left of something, it means that the black is over, the obstacle's finished. When it's to the right, it means that, there is going to be a block of something. So for many of you, that this is about a choice regarding your stability. So many of you, this is your choice regarding love. But it has been blocked because it's the wrong choice. So for those of you that are considering going back to this ex, the reason you have delays is because they're like, oh no, not at all. You're not going back there. Absolutely not. It's almost like God and the angels saying, hell no. And they will block you every single time. And that's where some of you are getting totally frustrated, because you're like, oh, well, I feel like I've lost my hope and faith, but maybe this time I can give it a go again. Maybe if I go see them, maybe if I go talk to them, because, surely they want to play with me. This dog's sitting here with this little ball. Surely they want to go play, be my companion. Maybe we can work it out this time. This is your divine team saying, not going to happen. Absolutely not. We will continue to make you miserable until you finally let that person go. We will continue to keep you stuck in a state of isolation and unhappiness until you finally realize that that person is not your foundation. It will not work. But those of you in the situation, you know that. Because it's been like back and forth for a very long time. For those of you who are going to ask questions, because they're telling me some of you are going to ask questions, oh, is this about my twin? Is this about my soulmate? This is about people who share monetary. They share finances. So if you don't live with your twin, if you don't live with your soulmate, if you are not married to them, if you do not have finances entangled with them, that is not talking about them. It's not. This is talking about people that are married, that have homes together, finances together, businesses together. But they are trying to free you of that. For some of you, this is also a work situation. They're trying to free you from a miserable work situation. That again, same thing they've been trying to free you from for a very long time. But for many of you, this is almost like this final block is to finally help you realize the toxicity of this relationship, to finally truly let go, to finally truly see the truth, and to finally heal your heart. Because in order for God to bring in your blessings, you have to be free of this mess. For those of you that are going to get this dream career of a lifetime or start this new business or whatever your next step is going to be, in order for you to do it, same thing, this mess has got to be gone. So you have this preparatory time to get yourself ready. So it's just a time to get yourself ready. Now, so when you look at these cards, we've got the sun, then we have the letter, fish, and tower. That would be what's the basic issue. What's the core basic issue that's going on here? So for some of you, the issue is you have not had the energy, you have not been taking the necessary steps, because again, this is life force, it's energy, it's vitality, it's the enthusiasm to do something. You have not communicated. You've not sent communications to someone regarding this monetary issue. So, because it is tied to your finances. So it could be you've not sent the communications to this ex of yours. Could be it's communications to your attorneys. It could be communications, but it is communications because the whole thing is founded on money. It's all finances, whether it's work-related or love-related. It's totally founded on money. But the basic issue is you haven't had the energy to send the communications, to do the communications that you need to do regarding this situation to finally end it and free yourself from it. You're not doing what you need to do to free yourself from it. And that is why you are stuck. At some point, we have to face the truth. We have to do something. The letter's not going to send itself. The ending's not going to just happen on its own. The ending's not going to just happen simply because you've stopped talking to that person. The ending's not going to happen just because you started dating someone else. Then it's not going to happen just because you decide to throw yourself into work or throw yourself, for some of you, fish is indicative of drinking. It's not going to stop just because you threw yourself into drinking. In order for this to finally be done and finally be over, to close this chapter of your life, to begin the new chapter, the new beginning, for many of you, this is one of the huge life lessons that you have in this lifetime, which is why it's been a challenge to learn it and let go. But in order to do that and close this chapter and finally be done with that lesson, be like, oh, thank goodness I'm over that. You have to have the energy. You have to communicate. You have to do that to bring it to a final ending, to bring it to a closure. And as far as what is hidden, when we look at the Lenormands, there's 4 cards that will tell us like what's the internal dynamic, what's the hidden issue that's going on. And those would be the dog, the choice, the mountain, and the ship. So for some of you, what is hidden? Sometimes the mountain can speak about infidelity. There's this big deer. It can speak about mistress, the other person. So for some of you, what has been hidden from you is that this person that you were loyal and faithful to was unfaithful. They were cheating. They were promiscuous. And that left you feeling alone. That's what's kept you stuck. Because you're not wanting to see that. You're not wanting to see the truth of that. Because this is about moving forward. You can't move forward because you're not wanting to accept the truth. For some of you, the internal dynamic, the problem that you're having with that's blocking yourself, is you're trying to make a decision between two partners, between two men, between two women. You're trying to make the decision of, okay, which one do I pick? Who do I go with? What do I choose? But you're not making a choice. You're purposefully delaying your ability to move forward and break free of this. You're not making a decision. You not making a decision because, again, that will be overcome. So for some of you, in order to move forward, you need to get over this internal, they're saying like, some of you are overanalyzing and overthinking the situation. If you just take a step back and really look at things clearly, you can even do a T-chart, then you can make your choice. Because for some of you, it's between two people. And for some of you, it's wavering back and forth. Okay, do I try again? Because for some of you, it's almost like this continuous loop that you've been on with this person for years. We're done. Oh no, we're going to work it back out. We're done. We're going to work it out. The zebra's not going to change their stripes. They're not going to change. The situation's not going to change. You know that. But internally, you're having a hard time with that. Internally, you're stuck not making the choice, which is why you're stuck. You can't overcome things and you're not moving forward. And for many of you, it is becoming very disheartening because some of you want to have a family. They're saying for some of you, you're like getting older and you've always had this dream of becoming a parent. You've always wanted to be a mother or father. But you're now starting to realize, oh dang, if I'm going to actually make that dream a reality, I need to get a freaking move on it. And those of you that want that dream, they're trying to help you have that dream. It's just different than what you think. It's just not with this person. That's all. It's with someone way better. But you have to do something. The other thing that's hidden for some of you, you have this person, this situation that you have been loyal to. You've been loyal to. So maybe you haven't been airing the dirty laundry, or maybe you've been keeping some of their secrets quiet, or maybe you've just been blindly, maybe it was a love partner, you've just stayed blindly loyal and faithful to them, thinking, oh my gosh, they're my best friend. I've known them for so many years. They could never do me wrong. They could never do me wrong. But what's hidden to you is they are doing you wrong. Because again, this card is about double dealing, doing someone wrong, hidden intentions. So you think, oh, they're doing me right. Look at all this sunlight coming in. But really, they've kept you in the dark. They've been keeping secrets from you that are not for your best interest, that would hurt you. They've been doing things behind your back secretly that you are not aware of. And because of that, that's been blocking you. For some of you also can't get over. So for some of you that it was a cheating thing, you're having a hard time. You're like, I just can't get over. I can't imagine they would do that to me. But for some, and that's for those of you that know of the wrongdoing. But for some of you don't know what they've done. They have been purposefully doing things behind your back to delay the breakup, to delay the ending, to delay the culmination, to keep you stuck, and to keep you from moving forward, moving on. So for some of you, it says love. It's, they don't want you, but they don't want anyone else to have you. But there are things that are being kept secret regarding money, regarding finances. Now, as far as what has brought this situation down, we could look at, we have this arrow of the sun, the ship, and the fish. So what has hindered things, what has brought things down is this person you've invested in heavily, this person that you share finances with, this job, this career, this business that you have invested heavily in. There's things that you don't know. There's clarity that you don't have. And for some of you, it's not moving forward, not because the ship's moving in the direction of the futures. So for some of you, you're nostalgic on how it used to be. So for some of you, you're looking back and thinking, oh, but you know, there have been moments of happiness. But because they're saying there's plenty of fish in the sea. So for some of you that it's a love thing, you're looking at, and again, this is what has brought the situation down. Some of you, this is why you are stuck. What has brought the situation down is you keep reminiscing on, okay, well, at one point it was positive and it was good, and maybe it can get back there. But what you need to do is you just need to drag that ship and move it forward, because there's plenty of fish. There's plenty of other fish in the sea. And for some of you, it's you're not moving it forward because you're fearful of your finances. You're fearful of taking a monetary hit. But it's going to be necessary for you to move forward. If you're a monetary hit, I mean, if you've been married to someone for 10 years, you know, you're going to have to split your assets with them. It's kind of a given. Unless you have a prenup. But that's expected. But don't allow that to keep you stuck, because you're stuck in a very dark place. Now, the interesting thing, when the ship comes up, the ship can also, can speak of modes of transportation. It can also speak of like directions, truly physical directions. And the only card that would, with this, speaks of a direction is the sun, which is interesting because this is the arrow going down. So the reason things are going south in your life in all areas, the reason why it feels like you're in this craptastic, like twilight zone, is because you don't have the energy. You aren't taking the action. You aren't completely ending the situation because you're fearful about money. And your thoughts, they're also saying your thoughts are always spiraling to the negative. You are stuck in a state of fear. You are paralyzed in fear. Fear is a lower vibration thing. And, we're taught in the Bible to never fear, to not have worries. I mean, yes, we're humans. We have to have money to pay bills. We have to have things taken care of. But when we can let go and let God, things go a little bit easier. And we don't have that lower vibration of fear, because when we're in that low vibration of fear, which is why they were saying earlier that some of you need to switch your perspective. You need to come back into a state of gratitude and optimism. But because you've been in the state of fear for so long, and some of you have been making rash decisions, and what that has done is that has caused you further complications, further delays. So in order to get those delays to stop, in order to get things to move forward, it does require you to let go of your fear. To let go of your fear. Have trust. Know that God's taking care of you. And take the action steps that you're being guided to take. So for some of you, again, it's not completely over because you haven't sent the papers. Maybe you haven't signed the papers. Because you're fearful, oh, what's going to happen to my bank account? Oh, gosh. How am I going to move forward? Because my money, my bank account, it's going to take a hit. But you are keeping yourself stuck because you're not signing the papers, because you're not sending communications, because you're not making a decision. You hold the power. You hold the power. You have forgotten that. You've forgotten that. But to have a culmination and a completion of this, it does require it to be officially 100% done. Complete separation, complete ending, complete termination. So let's, for many of you, it is love related. Okay. We're going to pull 3 clarifiers for the situation. Let's see if we can get you some more specifics on the situation. Now, again, I get for most of you, it is love. For a number of you, this is work related, it is business related, and for very few, it is something tied to an estate situation. Maybe you're fighting with your family legally. But whichever situation you're in, you'll know that this is about you because it's been going on for a long, long time. For many of you, this is a battle that's been going on for years. So if you've been in a situation for years and haven't had that official completion of something with someone regarding finances, regarding it being done, regarding the relationship being finished, then this is your situation. Okay, so let's move these down a bit. And this is again for your situation. So, the mature woman, poverty, community. Okay. So, let's see here. Okay, so starting off with the mature woman. This is someone who, she tends to really listen to your concerns. She can offer some advice, some assistance. But she's someone that's important. She's a female that's important. So she could be a female partner. She could be a lover. She could be a grandmother, a mother. Or she could be mother-in-law. But she is the, so for some of you, okay, for all of you, she's the key reason that you're stuck. She could also be a female who is in an authoritative position. So she could be your boss. She could be an executive in your company. But the interesting thing is, these cards, similar to the Lenore Woman's, they play off of where the cards are situated. Okay, so you are this poverty card. That's you. When she is to the right, it's positive. It means that, okay, she is a good listener. She does offer help. She's great. Yay! When she's to the left, it means that she's a problem. It means she is the problem. She's a meddler. She's a troublemaker. She likes to wreak havoc. She is the core problem for you. So she is the reason you're stuck in this state of being this poverty-stricken out in the cold on your own. So she's also like kind of side-eyeing him. It's almost like she kind of has her jaw clenched. She just kind of looks angry. She really looks kind of angry. And they're saying vindictive. So for those of you, again, that there's something going, which you're unaware of, was that you have been loyal to her. And again, be it she's a lover, family member, or a boss. You have been loyal and been doing right, but she has not. She has secret, and again, because these are those 4 cards that are what's hidden from you. You have been loyal thinking, okay, she could never do that. She's not going to do me wrong. She's not lying to me. I can count on her because, I've known her for years, or I've worked here for years. But her intentions aren't pure. There's been double dealing. There's been speaking out both sides of the cheek. You get one story, but that's not the real story. It's not the truth. Which is why you're this poor little chimney sweeper. And this is poverty. But he's all ragged. He's all beat up. He's all dirty. His cheeks are all flushed. But in the time of these cards, the chimney sweepers, they were like these young kids. And it was almost like a slavery, because it was like these children had to go in because they could fit in, they could climb in and clean the chimneys. And it was a miserable life. It was a short-lived life. But this is all about being in a bad position. It also represents a lack of control. So for many of you, she put you in a bad position. For many of you, lack of control. You know how, again, you were so angry with this ending, you ripped your anchor up, and maybe some of you, you made a rash decision to jump into another relationship, and now you're like, dang, that's not going well either. But this is a lack of control. Because again, if you look at this card, this bird, if you can see that bird is has momentum. That bird is swooping in. So for some of you, you were so angry. So for some of you, it was, okay, so they're saying some of you it was like a love relationship. You were trying to work it out again. And so for some of you, maybe you'd moved or you're preparing to move and you were bringing your homes together and you're like, oh man, this is going to work this time. Oh, it's going to be so good. And then you found out she was cheating or something was going on and you were livid and you just flew up and out of there. But along the way, you made some rash decisions that were not in your best interest. They're saying for some of you, you've made rash decisions that hurt some people that have in turn hurt you and you don't even know it. But you made some rash choices. Again, you didn't have any control. You lacked the control to make responsible, mature, wise choices. Which we do when we tend to be emotional. You know, if we've had our heart broken, you know, we're going to just jump into anything. We're going to fly away. We're going to try to do something to make ourselves feel better. But for those of you that did it, it wasn't, again, it was these 3 cards across. It wasn't a good choice for you. Now, not the choice to leave the person. That's what they've been guiding you to do for a very long time. But the situation that you dove right into wasn't a good choice. But this also speaks of not having the emotional support, not having the physical support. It's also, you know, really being down on our luck, really not having things like going in our way, going in our favor. Now, the interesting thing, actually, I'll show you in a minute. We're going to come back to that. The next card that you have, this, and if you're looking at these, you would have your past, present, you would have your future. It's all about the interplay of the cards. You have community. And this is all about, you know, friends and family and community. It's about being supported. It's about belonging, you know, finding a place that's our home. You know, being with people who are always there for us, who love us, who support us, who care for us, those that we have a deep connection with. This is family, relatives, friends. It's also about unions, marriages, associations. This really brings into question partnerships. And this is about a partnership that's harmonious and happy and joyful, where everyone's working together and loving and supporting each other. With regards to work, this is like an environment where it's positive, where people support each other, where people aren't lying and doing wrong behind people's backs, where there's teamwork and appreciation. Also with love, they're saying appreciation, because for those of you who love, she didn't appreciate you and what you did. Now, you can change the sex. Some of you, this could be a man, but they're saying it's a woman. It's a woman, whether it's love or it's work-related. But if the rest of it sounds like your situation, then the sex is off, feel free to swap it. But this is about having genuine people, good quality people, family, friends, lovers, people that you can count on, people who really are loyal, people who are truly there for you and desire the best for you, who have your best interest at heart. And again, this is on the core situation. Core thing, the main focus is stability. Many of you kept trying to build your stability with her. For many, love, you know, you've got these roses back here. But for some of you, it's work-related. But you kept trying. It was the routine. It was the thing that you were accustomed to. But you remained stuck. They're saying stuck. Because again, these are things that are fixed. They're immutable. They don't change. You refuse to change and let her go. Let that situation go and move on. No matter how difficult, no matter how painful, no matter how ragged and beat down and torn down you were. Because for some of you, it has left you feeling really torn down emotionally. Many of you, you've lost hope. You've lost faith that things are going to get better. You've lost hope and faith that you're ever even going to find a partner that can be loyal and can be counted on. You're also, some of you are losing your faith in humanity. Like, oh my gosh, if I really thought that she was going to do me right. I did. I really thought she would do me right. But she didn't. And now I'm beginning to question everything. Have hope. Because this is a family. It's a family. You see, this is the same boy. Same boy. He's got his little tie on. Same little tie. But here, oh, he's all cleaned up. He's dressed well. He's walking out of a very fine home. He is flanked by love. He's got mom and dad on both sides. He's got grandpa in the back, another family member in the back. He's surrounded by family. He's surrounded by love. They're saying circle of trust. So for those of you that this is love, you are going to be moving forward with someone new. For some, it could be someone that you know, but you're not with them at all right now. You're not with them. You're not talking with them. They're not in your life at this point. But you are going to be, because you want this. So for those of you that this is love, you want this, which is why you've tried so many times in the past with her. Because you wanted that. You wanted to build a family. You wanted to have a child. You wanted this stability. You wanted to be able to anchor your ship. You wanted to hitch your boat to hers and create a family. For some of you, she didn't want kids. She's never had any desire for that. Some of you, she's lied to you about that. But you wanted a family. You wanted that close-knit support. You want to feel like, oh my gosh, this is my home. This is what I've always dreamt of. This is what I've always wanted and desired. You've wanted that. You are going to get that. Again, this is the future card. But she's not in this card. That's you with a new family. But this is a family unit you can trust, you can count on. This circle they're saying is a circle of trust. So you're going to be meeting someone that you are going to have a family with, that you can count on her, you can trust her. She will be loyal and faithful in return. She will be honest and forthright in return. For those of you that this is a work situation, you will be leaving this situation. You will come into a work situation, a business situation that will be very fruitful. It will blossom with abundance, overflow of abundance. It's just this final time of transition to get there on all sides of the house. It's this time of letting this go, letting her go, letting the past go. Mentally getting stuck, mentally getting out of this state of woe is me, life is horrible, it's never going to work out, so that you can overcome that mountain and get to these blessings that are on the other side. Now, let's for fun, grins and giggles, let's check some timing. Now again, free will. We have free will and everything, so you can adjust the timing with your actions. But let's see where things are right now. So let's find out when these other blocks are coming in. And let's find out when it's all going to be over. Okay. That's interesting. Let's see here. Let's have a look. Because the Lenormands, when you're looking at the Lenormands, all the cards have like a different meaning for time. And so if you're ever, wanting to know like when's something going to happen, you can shuffle your Lenormands and pull out a card, and it'll give you time frames. Now the interesting thing is that it will give you 2 time frames. It gives you the primary time frame, but then it will give, it's considered at a far distance. It does give an alternative. So As far as when these delays, when this stuff is going to start, you have house, and the house means December. December. So for many of you, it's starting this week. But this card at a distance is off and on. Off and on. So there have been repeated delays with ending this chapter with her. Your love with her, your relationship with her, your work involvement with her. And again, if it's work, she's a boss, she's a supervisor, she's an executive. She's the core. But no matter what your situation is, love or work, or maybe she's a business partner, she's the core root of your issues. She's the problem. Some of you have been wondering who's been causing. So for some of you, that's a work delay, and you're wondering, oh my gosh, why do I keep having all these delays? What's going on? There's a woman that's causing the delays. But the delays have been off and on for a very long time. But December is your final month of delays, because this tower is coming down. Now, as far as when it's going to be over, when this is finally going to be over, when are you going to finally get this communication that this is officially donezo? You're officially free to move forward. You have the stork. Now, the stork is March. So for some of you, it will be up until March. But this card also means that it is subject to change. Because again, what do they keep saying about this mountain that they've repeatedly said over and over? You hold the power. This mountain really isn't that difficult to climb. It's not. It's not that big of an obstacle and delay. Your thoughts are what's causing the delay. Your thoughts, this is too difficult, I can't overcome this. Your thoughts that, oh my gosh, she's too powerful. Your thoughts that, oh, I can't let her go. Change your thoughts, change your perspective. You can change the outcome, you can speed it up. And also putting in the effort. Because again, in order to overcome this obstacle quicker, it's, for many of you, it's making the correct choice. Because for some of you, you jumped in something that wasn't a good choice. But it's making the correct choice and putting together a strategy and taking the necessary actions, putting the effort forth, signing the paperwork, sending the message, making the decision and sending, okay, well, here's my decision. Here's what we're doing. Maybe for some of you, it's a female business partner. It's like maybe you've been hem-hawing and not making the decision about, maybe you've been all wishy-washy and can't make up your mind. Maybe it's finally making up your mind that, no, I'm done. We are going to go ahead and sell the company. We're ending it. We're closing it. We're done. But it's sending the communications, because the communications are going to be at a distance. But it's sending the communications. But it's you who has to make that decision. You have to send the communications. You have to sign the paperwork. So if you don't want to be stuck in this little personal miserable hell of yours through March, you need to start doing something. But they're also saying when you do something, you need to pray, you need to meditate, you need to ask for guidance. For many of you, you've been bombarded with signs that you've not wanted to pay attention to, because for most of you, you've not wanted to leave this path, or you've not wanted to believe that she could do you wrong. And they've been bombarding you repeatedly with information to let her go. Yes, she's doing you wrong. You need to finally stand up for yourself, but you have not done that. So you need to pay attention to those signs. You need to do the things that they're guiding you to do. And for some of you, it's not the reason they want you to take time to think things through, because you have jumped into a decision that was rash, that actually puts you in a bit of a worse position. You're going to recover from it. It's going to work out just fine. But you need to make rational decisions. You need to think things through for what's your best interest. Because, in the Bible it talks about that, God comes and speaks in a quiet, still voice. So if we are mentally spinning in our heads and we're not sure what to do, and we're feeling stuck, and we're feeling miserable, and we're feeling like, oh my gosh, this is never going to end, and all I want, more proof that this is love related, you have a home and you have a stork. all I want to do is give birth to this new beginning. I want to build a home. I want to build a family. I want to build a foundation. I want this. I want the security. I want it so bad. But your head's spinning, 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 spinning. You've got to quiet it down a little bit. You've got to quiet it down. And ask God and the angels, give me some guidance. Give me some information. What are my next steps? Because then you can make the right choices for you. And then you will give birth to your new beginning. And if you do those things, you won't have to wait until March, they're saying. So some of you keep stalling, hem-hauling, and not doing those things. You could be very well stuck in this until March. But if you want to bust out before then, you have the control. When you realize that you have control and you do the things that they're guiding you to do, you are going to have a new beginning. Now, they were telling me is the bottom of this deck has a card that's timing as well. The book. Some of you, communications are going to be coming suddenly, unexpectedly. The book is suddenly. So for some of you, this official communication that's coming from a distance to end things, it will just, bam, boom, be dropped on you, and you're like totally not going to expect it. You're going to be thinking, oh my gosh, this is going to take another 2 months. Oh my gosh. And then bam, out of nowhere, you receive information. Nope, it's done. You're free. You have been set free, prisoner. It is time for you to move forward. It's time for you to move out of this little state and move into this dream that you've always had. You do have the dream coming. Those of you in this situation, you have the dream coming. It's on its way. It's sitting right on the other side of this mountain. You can't see it because you just keep staring at the mountain. But there's a path right here that'll get you around the mountain. Just take the path. And then you're going to have this result suddenly dropped in your lap. And it's going to return you to the sun. Because again, for those of you who've not wanted to let this person, this situation go because in the past it was happy, not going to be happy. If you let it go, you move forward, you will be brought back to a state of sun, of joy, of bliss, of happiness. It's going to be with someone else. It's going to be in a different work situation. It's going to be with those of you that this was a business. It's going to be in letting that business end, letting it conclude. So whatever it is that you have with this woman, be it work, business, love, when this is done, when you are done with her, completely, totally, officially done, you will have the sun. You will have joy. You will have this family that you desire. You will have the outcome that you desire. There's a little poem on it. It says, the sun is warm and brightens the day. Good luck has begun to come your way. The closer your location, you bask in sweet bliss. Energy abounds in summer's radiant kiss. Again, cards are all about past, present, future. Past, present, future. The sun in your past was tied to her. It's breaking that anchor free. Because right now you're stuck in this poverty-stricken, heartbroken. Many of you are in a state of, you just had heartbreak. Past, present, future. If you let this pass with her that brought you sunshine, brought you joy, brought you happiness, you let it culminate and end, you get that. Okay, so we're going to pull. Let's go ahead and move these. I'm going to pull 2 recommendation cards for you real quick. And I'm going to pull an angel answer card. And then we are going to wrap this up. So let's go ahead and get these. Okay, out of my way. Okay, make sure we got them all. Okay. So we're going to be pulling the recommendations from Denise Lynn's Gateway, as well as the Oracle of the Angels. And then we'll pull your angel answer card. Okay, so let's see here. We've got proceeding softly. And you also get the card from the bottom. It's your lucky day, extra information. Okay, so let's see here. So the first card you have is proceeding softly. And at the bottom it says, my inner power grows in moments of quietude. Okay. So this is beautiful. It's beautiful. You've got all these flowers. Everything is green. It's lush. You've got these roses. So for some of you, what they're recommending is that you take some time alone. Because this person is having tea with themselves. It's not a table set for two. If it was a table set for two, you would have all these things in the center so both people could reach it. Everything is set to the side to serve one person. One person. You need to spend some time by yourself, thinking things through, so that you can make your steps. You can take your action steps so that you know where to go from here. So that you can make the right choices that will bring you to this place that's very lush. It's overgrowing. There's overgrowth of abundance, overgrowth of joy. For some of you, there's these birds. I don't know if you can see the little birds. Here's one, and you've got one, you see its little tail right there. Birds signify communications. So some of you, there's something that you need to communicate with yourself. Like maybe you haven't wanted to truly see the truth of the situation. Because maybe, you didn't really want to see that that person could do that to you. Like, I never really thought she would mean me harm. I didn't think she was lying. I didn't think she was cheating. I really thought she was watching out for my best interests. Yeah, it was bad, it was ugly and difficult, but I didn't think that was possible. Some of you, it's communicating, it's seeing the truth. Because you've not wanted to see that. You've not wanted to communicate with yourself that it's done, that chapter's closed. That it's time to move to something bigger, better, and more beautiful. Now for some of you, one second, we have the paper lady walking around distributing papers. Miss Allie. Now for some of you, there's something that you need to communicate with someone else. So for some of you, it could be communicating. They're saying for some of you, it's communicating that the relationship is over, that a relationship is over. Getting you to a state of being single. They're saying for some of you, there's someone that you have to communicate with about your innocence. Yeah, these roses, they're white, and roses signify purity. So for some of you, it's taking the time to communicate your innocence, that it's almost as though you have been charged, someone has thought wrongly of you. But you need to set that, you need to clear the record. You need to clear the air. You need to share the truth. You have not shared the truth. It's about going inward. Now I am actually going to see if I can reach the book. We're going to read the book real quick. Okay, proceeding softly. Go forward slowly and gently. Stop to smell the daisies and enjoy the view. Love and appreciate what is here now. The universe wants you to know, when you take your time and go slowly, new perceptions blossom that you can't see if you're moving too fast. Step out of the rapid pace of everyday life and step into the majesty of stillness. Resist the impulse to go ahead with your first instinct and tune into your deeper intuition. Power is born when you relax into the present moment. So some questions to ask yourself would be, what is the underlying wisdom for me regarding being cautious? Is there an area of my life where I should slow down? Should I view a certain person or situation in my life with caution? And for some of you, there's a solution. There's something that you're not seeing, they're saying. So, but to see that, time alone. Okay, next card we have is application. And you see you have this person. So for many of you, you do want to, you want to build a family tree. You really do. But to open your arms to receive, because for those of you that want to have a family, you want to get married, you want to have a family, you want that foundation, they are going to bring that to you. It's just not with the person you thought it was going to be with. So you have to, it's funny because, remember earlier they were talking about how you have to drop that person, let them go so you can open your arms to the new person? Arms are open wide. And it's a man. I mean, those of you that are guys that are watching this, that it's a love situation. You do get to determine the family tree, the gender of your kids. But he has his arms open wide. They are going to help you build this family that you desire. Not with the person that you thought. The reason is the person that you thought was actually a life lesson. You see that this book is open. So for many of you, you have to close one chapter to move to the next chapter. You have to close the chapter with a person that you are not going to be able to build. There's not a solid foundation. You can't build a future with that person. You can't build a solid foundation with that person. You are never going to have any trees take root and grow because it's a faulty foundation. So you need to close that chapter, close that, open up a new page, open up to the new beginning, open up, see this light shining down on them, open up to the blessings that God is bringing you. For all of you, this can, sounds like your story. You could very well be a woman opening up to new beginnings. Could be new beginnings work, new beginnings love. But you have to open up to that. Because when you receive it, it will take root. It will grow, it will blossom. Look at all these new blossoms, these new leaves. But it's coming from love. See how his heart's illuminated? And there's light shining out from it. So for some of you, because this love, this relationship that you've been in has been so toxic, you have closed your heart off to love. You have even some of you have become jaded. You don't believe in love. You don't believe people can be true and honest. You've lost hope in finding love. So in opening up to this, so for many of you, you're going to be receiving a divine blessed love, a true gift from God. But to open up and receive that, you do have to open up to love. You're going to need to knock that wall down. Seriously. Okay, so they want us to read that from the book. Okay. Application. You have been on a quest for greater understanding and knowledge for some time now. This card is an indication that the time has truly come to apply that acquired knowledge in a practical way in your real life. There will always be more to learn, but for now, focus on walking the walk. Demonstrate to yourself and those you love what you have learned, and you'll see you'll come even further than you've imagined was possible. The laws of universal love take root in my life. So this is kind of like an affirmation that you guys can do. So, the laws of universal love take root in my life. I now apply everything I have learned during my spiritual quest. The knowledge of the mind will be transformed into life knowledge. I radiate love at all times. Love transforms my heart and my thoughts. So these delays, these things that you've been going through, it's all to have a new beginning for you. You have heaven's door. You see this door is illuminated. There's light blasting through it. See, there's all these, like you can see this person that has passed on. Because they're illuminated. And you have all these orbs. You ever notice, like when you take a photo, so say you take a photo at a funeral, or maybe you go to a family, maybe you have a family reunion. You'll find in situations like that, and you take a photo, there will be like a lot of orbs in the area. And orbs are essentially loved ones that are on the other side that are with us. So for many of you, you have a ton of support on the other side. You've got all these loved ones trying to help you. They're trying to guide you. They're trying to take you through the door of this new beginning, which is blessed, which is filled with a lot of love. It's filled with love. That's what you want. For those of you that's work, you want a job that you love. You want a job where there's a lot of support. Again, it comes back to that community card. You want it all. And you're going to get that. For those of you that's romance, you want the true love of a lifetime, someone you can count on, someone you can build a family with, build a foundation with, someone that's your rock, someone that you don't feel like you're carrying the load all the time. They're bringing that to you. They have that for you. For many of you, they already have the foundation prepared, but you have to walk through the door. And for many of you, this time frame, it's a portal way, because it's a time of transformation to prepare yourself to walk through this door of this new beginning that you are being divinely guided through. This truly is a gift. Letting this go and opening the door and walking through the door of your new beginning is a gift from God. Again, this is heaven's door. But to do that, you have to walk away from the past. You see, it's kind of like shaded right here. So it's like you're walking out of the dark and you're walking through the door to this new blessed beginning. That's just radiating with light and love. But you have to take the step. Now, I'm going to read that one real quick. And we're going to pull your angel answer card. Okay, 27, Heaven's Door. If you've been anxiously waiting for a door to open with the promise of a new opportunity, the time is drawing near. Trust in the divine timing. The door will open at the perfect time, and you'll see exactly why it was worth the wait. In the meantime, hold on to your faith. The reward is imminent. And then the little affirmation, life unfolds for me exactly as it's meant to. I trust in divine timing, and I am grateful for all of my blessings. So again, for some of you, you're just like, oh my gosh, these delays are taking forever. Use the delays. Use the delays. It's just giving you some time to prepare yourself for the awesomeness that is rolling in your direction rapidly. Okay, so go ahead and think of a question if there's something that wasn't answered, something that's still in your mind. The question, we are going to pull one angel answer card. Trust. Because with everything, we do need to trust. We have to trust to let go of what we've always known. We have to trust to let go of what's always been comfortable. We have to trust to step into what is unknown to us. Okay, there it is. Okay. You have trust. Hopefully you can see those graphics. You see, he's sitting there in a meditative state. And he has Jesus behind him. And behind that, there's this massive angel behind him. You have an entire team behind you helping you. They're saying, let them help you. Let them help you. And he's got this fire in front of him. He's got a couple big flames coming up from it. He's in between these two pillars. They're purple. It's all about transformation. This is transforming your life. But we have to allow the transformation to happen, to occur. And those of you that are going through this, you know that this is divinely guided and led because you felt like you have no control over it. But it's just time to allow. They've got it. They've got you. Their arms are all around you. They're standing around you. They're standing behind you. Allow. Okay, so the book says, this is a time for trust. Sometimes there is no yes or no to a question. There are situations where we are better served by not knowing what is to come so that the miracle can unfold before our very eyes. Like children opening a gift, part of the magic of our lives is found in the joy of surprise. Trust that your angels have something amazing in store for you, even if they can't quite tell you yet what it is. So hopefully that helps all of you. Hopefully those of you celebrating, have an amazing Thanksgiving. Those of you that are going to be brave and go out and do some shopping like me and my family, enjoy. And for everyone, I hope you have an amazing week. And I hope you kick December off on the right foot. And I wish you a lot of love, joy, and blessings.